Hey guys, it's Diane. If you want to know how to get this killer clown look, just keep on watching. Alright, so we got our bare face, hair pulled back by my little headband. Let's get started. The first two supplies that we're gonna need are toilet paper and glue. I've pre-torn these little toilet paper strips. I've torn them into little scraggly strips like this because since we're going to be creating a straight triangle right here, we want our strips to be kind of the same size so we can just match them up to the edges and make it easier. A tip for when you cut these, you don't want them to be super straight, like you wouldn't want to cut it with scissors, because when you're doing the application process, like, it just gives it a more natural feel and it'll look more ripped. Alright, so I'm going to start off by sketching where I want my triangles to be. You're going to want to make these lines curved to make them appear more natural. I think the pen ran out of ink, so we're going to switch to my black eyeliner. They don't have to be completely the same because once we go and apply the toilet paper and stuff, it's gonna kind of mess with the shape that you originally put. We just want a basis for what we're going for. When you get to the top, you kind of want to match up with this line right here, I'd say, so that way they don't look too uneven. And you're gonna want to put it not too close to your brow because we're gonna be applying a little bit of this to that very edge, and since it's such a small area to work with, you don't want it to get stuck in your brow. So leave just a tiny bit of space, not too much, because then it's going to look kind of off. Now that we're done with the rough sketch, let's get started with the glue. I'm going to go and I'm going to start off with the bottom, and I'm just going to trace this line that I made with the glue. Careful not to get the glue into your eye. Now that I've applied the glue, I'm just going to go out and spread it a tiny bit because you can't get the glue to lay kind of flat. You want to spread it wide enough for your glue strips to stick. We're going to take toilet paper strips. With this, it's kind of like a, once you put it down, that's it sort of thing. So you want to make sure that you get the placement really good, and you kind of just like puzzle piece it in there. You want to make sure to try not to get any creases in it because then it'll look really bad and start coming up when you go to apply the makeup. You want to make sure that the area that's supposed to be peeled up is going to be a lot thicker than what's on the outside because you want to have more stability when you're going to go peel it up once this is dry. Make sure you lay all the edges. You can put some glue on your finger and kind of just like lay it on there. Alright, so now that you're finished applying kind of like the first layer, maybe two layers, you're going to want to get a blow dryer and you're going to take it on cool setting. If it has a cool setting, if it doesn't, hold it kind of far away from your face on the low warm setting. Just do that when you've done this to all of your eyes because it's basically the same application process, just following the triangle. Usually you can tell when it's dry whenever you don't feel a cooling sensation on your face and it's like dry to the touch. If it's even still a little bit wet, then it'll kind of just ruin the whole thing. Put bigger sheets on the layers instead of making a defined outside. And then you want to focus it on the inside, like right here and right here, where we're going to be starting to lift it because we don't want it to start peeling off of where we glued it down. If you have any like excess toilet paper that's hanging off the edge, just take a little bit of glue on your finger and just kind of like blend and tap at it, but you don't want to put so much glue on your natural skin where the toilet paper isn't, because then when we go in to apply makeup like foundation, the foundation's not going to sit as well as it would on the toilet paper on the glue because it's going to be like a slipperier surface. If you do have like extra shiny glue, you can just take a makeup wipe and just kind of dilute the glue. So after we're done drying this and putting our layers, I put about 2 or 3 on here. I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in 120 Classic Ivory, and I'm going to be taking a flat brush. I'm just going to put dots around here on my skin because I'm going to be covering that too. Now that I've got it all over my face, I'm going to be using this beauty sponge and this flat kabuki brush. I'm going to just be using this to dab the makeup kind of onto it. Now I'm going to apply this Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Ivory. After we've applied all the concealer and blended everything in, I'm going to take this Sigma angled contour brush and I'm just going to get some translucent powder. This is the e.l.f. brand. I'm just going to tap it on top of this sign and anywhere else I have concealer, because if I don't, it's going to leave it sticky or tacky and that could lead to patchiness in your shading, which we'll be doing next. Go in and contour the natural highlight of my face using that same brush, since all I used was the translucent powder on there. And I'm just going to take this where I would usually have it, right here under my cheek, inside my temple. It's okay if it's a little bit dark because we're going to go back and add some bruising. So I'm just laying it on top, inside of my eyes, on the side of my nose. I'm going to be taking this e.l.f. Small stipple brush and this red blush. I'm just going to take the lightest bit because this is super pigmented. And I'm just going to run it along the edge of our wound. So after we've applied the red kind of around the little triangles where you would show irritation or bruising, I'm going to take this fluffy brush and this purple from the BH Cosmetics palette, Take Me to Brazil, and we're just going to create some deeper bruising. So right along the edge, I'm going to spot it there. You don't want a lot of purple, just kind of in the areas, probably in the edges. If you want, you could probably take a little blue with that purple and intensify the purple, make it look kind of very rotted and ugly. Once we're done with that, I'm going to take another fluffy brush, and from the same palette I'm going to be taking this yellow color and probably a little bit of this mustard color. I'm just going to apply it in spots kind of around the skin, not so much in here, but more towards the outside where that would lighter affect the skin. For the next step, you're going to want to get a spoolie or some tweezers, and we're just going to peel back our layers. Alright, so now that we've peeled back the skin, I'm going to take a little brush, and I'm going to take this palette that I have from making zombie looks, and I'm going to take this black. You can take any black eyeshadow or black lipstick or liquid eyeliner, and you're just going to stick this underneath the layers of the skin so that way we can create depth for when we add red in there. Alright, so once I have the black shaded all underneath this, I'm going to take the red from this palette and color it in. Now that I finished putting the red inside, I don't have fake blood, so being the crafty queen that I am, I'm mixing some of the red that I applied in my eyes with some cheap lip gloss, so that way we can create the drippy, bloody effect. So I mixed it up and I added a little bit of black, and I'm just going to dab that all in here. And kind of roughly rubbing it against the edges. If you get blood there, just mix it. So after we've done that and applied the gloss, I'm gonna go back in with this black and just put little and then after I'm gonna line them with Velvet Line Exotic Berry. A dramatic rounded look. Next, I'm going to go in with this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Copenhagen. And I'm just going to fill the outside of my lips with that. And again, with that black brush that you used, you're going to want to take it on the inside. We're going to go in and do the brow. Fill the outside of my lips with that. The reason I decided to do my brows last instead of first like I usually do is because since I applied a special effect near my eye, I didn't want that to I'm going to take my angled brush, and so now I'm going to take my Anastasia
wherever those lines were.
After I've done my eyebrows, I'm going to go in with my concealer and clean up the bottom with the flat brush. Wherever those lines were, and then have my eyebrow looking fleeky. Once we're done concealing, I'm going to take my Bad Habit Aphrodite palette and a fluffy Morphe brush. I'm just going to set that concealer. After I've done that, I'm going to take this black called Heartbreak, and I'm just going to create a classic smoke. Pack that on the corner of my eye. I'm going to apply those with my Duo Black Glue. I'm going to take some
After
we've gone in with that black and packed it in, I'm going to take the same blending brush and the color Koi again. I'm going to blend the edges. And now that I've got that, our makeup look is complete. Next, I'm going to be applying my Salon Perfect clusters, and I'm going to stack them. And thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you liked what you saw today, and please make sure to comment, turn on your notifications, and subscribe. And if you try out this look, show me